Today is 7th of May, market open positive, but eventually closed poor with a reversal bar up 14 point at 4941 on high volume. On the midterm basis, you can see the moving average actually crisscrossed. This is indication the market is actually trading sideways. Our immediate resistance is actually at 5,000. This is a high volume resistance as well as psychological resistance. Our immediate support is actually at this pivot low here of 4855. We also have another support here at 4817. So the blue chips are generally stuck in a trend range. However, if you compare that with the small cap stocks, it's quite evident that the small cap stock is actually performing relatively better. 1326 are diverging and rising. So I think the focus is actually on the small cap stock. Likewise from the fringing index. Extremely strong. So the blue chip is actually underperformed. Now let's take a look at the US market. This is Nasdaq Composite Index as a proxy for the US market. Now this resistance was taken out 3 weeks back, and currently it's actually trading a bull bars, closing at its high. This is we still got 2 more days to go. However, volume is actually not very high. Now, usually after a break, we do expect a pullback, but we have not seen it so far. Very much like this in the past, all right, where we have a break and there's a pullback. So we have not seen that right now. So this is something we just have to take note of. Again, it's actually confined to electronic sectors. Generally, the other sectors are not that as strong. So whatever the case may be, our markets actually is now quite positive. So even the pullback is only temporarily. Now let's take a look at some of the stock we've been discussing. First off, Bingguan. This stock has a very nice contraction breakout a few days back, and it followed through nicely with a wide range bar followed by a pullback. At this point in time here, we have a contraction set up. Bar high here is at 585. CSC Global, very nice move. Here we have a big dipper breakout. Follow through today's on high volume, look for pullback and look for a new setup. Notice 1326 are rising and diverging. Geo Energy. After making a high, stock actually has retraced. So this is really a consolidation. Notice that the 30 SMA has flattened. Look for eventually break above the high here of 65 cents. Now, if you take a look at the bigger picture, it's actually testing this. This high here is actually 65 cents. That was made in 2013 and experiencing a pullback at this point in time. So if you can actually form a base here, look for a final assault at this high here of 65 cents. ASL Marine. Right now we have a contraction setup. Bar high here is 41 cents. Bostek, very nice move. Notice that 1326 actually are well placed and it's diverging. This is a small dipper setup. Bar high is at 250. Let's continue with analysis of oil tank. Now this stock has run ahead as right now taking a breather. So we just have to leave it. Hopefully we can form a nice base and look for a break on the upside. This stock is actually year to date the best performing stocks. Notice during the pullback here, the volume is actually low. This is a good sign. But you probably take some time before you break on the upside. Let's take a look at palm oil stocks. First, resources. Among the palm oil stock, this is the best performing. Yesterday we have ex-dividends, and despite ex-dividends, it managed to also hold up very well. And today is really inside day. Though data is big, but technically the fact that it's hold up well is a good sign. It would be good if you can trade sideways and we look for an eventual break above the high here of 385. Now the bet for Budilaba is probably off. Though we have a very nice breakout here, we notice we have a very nice wide range bar on high volume, but you actually retrace, and generally we do not like to see the stock break go below the breakout level. So we probably need to leave the stock alone until something happens. Otherwise, it's better to focus on first resources. Olam, very strong move here. Look for a setup here. Eventually take out this high here, 126. Some of the construction related stocks. This is Tiongwon, supplier of heavy equipment. Here we have a small deeper setup. Bar high here is 113. Ben United's, this stock has retraced quite a fair bit. We have a very nice breakout over here. We notice actually retrace trading below 1326 MA. So this may well be just a consolidation. We'd like to actually observe, see what happens. If you can continue just trade sideways without going down further, this will be generally positive. And eventually look for a break on the upside. Now let's take a look at Hong Leong Asia. There was a placement, and because of that, it actually retrace, managed to actually stage a counter attack, but by and large it is still not trending. 1326 is still, if you notice, the 30 SMA is actually downward pointing. Just take note that this is a high volume resistance level, so we would like to actually wait for this to be taken up decisively. Now, as I mentioned, that the blue chip generally don't perform, that will include the banks. However, the best performing is still DBS. We have a nice gap up after release of result. At this point in time, it's more deeper setup bar high is at 59.60. So we do need a catalyst to trigger a break. So notice over here we do have the prior high here as a resistance at about 59.84. OCBC, lackluster with a crossing of moving averages. So we'll probably leave the stock alone. Likewise for UOB, generally lackluster. UOB Keihin is a better bet among the financial stocks. Managed to actually take out this resistance here, and then here we have a small deeper setup. Bar high is 436. Sing Holding, after making a high, you actually retrace. Perhaps look out for a base form. Just have to take note on the 12th of May, this stock will go X bonus. XJX, this stock has been running up very nicely, but right now experiencing retracement. So we'll just have to observe to see whether the stocks will form a base from here. Generally, after a strong run like this, we will see the stock taking a breather. And during that periods, we are likely to see a consolidation pattern.